Elsewhere, by following the map to the army of the Crimson Goblin, Taichi and Anastasia approach a place where two little earth mages, Milo and Mello, have prepared a plot for them. In the meantime, Ran and Myra rush to the guild and inform the guild master of the situation, who then immediately summons all adventurers to prepare for war. On Teichi's continuous insistence, the girls do not stop and chant the crimson magic to gather the army of strong goblins. With a herd of goblins ahead, Teichi battles them and even saves Milo's kids when they fail to protect themselves from goblins. While Teichi is struggling against crimson goblins alone, Rin, Mira, and Lamia, with the guild masters, help gather the city's people for war. The battle begins with Rin employing the mixture of the earth as well as flame magic to create a giant metal ball and throw it over many goblins. Rin's successful attack raises people's enthusiasm, making them go for man attack. However, during this whole time in A, Meeks and Kasim keep witnessing Rin's battling tactics and usage of spiritual elements. After successfully defeating a large army, the group has to battle the giant crimson monsters, controlling the rest of the goblins by employing the final assault. Lumia tries to kill the giant goblins, but her attack remains persistent on them after battling for a long time, when Rin loses the strength to fight and is about to be killed by the giant goblin. She gets saved by Teki, who just arrived. After defeating Milo, kids summon Crimson. Goblins watching Teki saving her, Rin realizes that she is not alone. After that, Teki increases his enhancement level to 100% and manages to defeat the monster with only Strike watching. His powers are beyond human capabilities. Ladra and Kasim understand the reason why their master needed this test. Moreover, they were just being used as pawns to achieve those ends, as no one dare know oppose her. In the meantime, a soldier reports the guild master, Gerard, that the majority of the red monsters have fallen, but Teichi is still in combat with them. Hearing this, Anastasia gets worried about Tachi because he was the first person who treated her as a woman instead of a tool. Later, she becomes optimistic and believes that Teichi will be unharmed soon. An unknown person approaches her and says something, forcing her to walk helplessly to the battlefield. In the battlefield, Rin and others are killing the small monsters, while Taichi fights the red ogres. Suddenly, a twin head dragon appears from underground, making everyone shocked as they have never interfered in previous battles between men and monsters. Realizing the situation, Teki instructs everyone to retreat to the city and evacuate. In any worst case, everyone returns, but Rin stays to fight alongside with him. However, when their fierce battle begins, Teki tries summoning Ariel and uses his full power to defeat the monster, but is unable to do anything against him. The scenario gets even worse when Anna suddenly arrives there, but she herself does not remember what happened before. Soon, when Draven launches his attack, Anna saves Teichi, but herself faces the damage, leaving her mortally wounded and gasping for her last breaths. In Teki's hands, seething with anger at the situation, Teki called forth Ariel once more and lashes his anger at her. However, he soon realizes the situation when Ariel apologizes, explains that she could not appear before because Teichi had become a full-fledged summoner and therefore could only summon her through a certain way. Later, by using her powers, Teichi not only withstands the dragon's fierce blow, but also defeat him with only one strike. After its defeat, the dragon informs Teichi that he intervened in this battle at the order from a certain individual, someone who would undoubtedly continue to test him. The revelation left Teichi's mind reeling with questions and suspicions about what lay ahead. On the other hand, Ledger informs his master Shade that the test was a success and Teichi has forged a formal pact with a wind spirit. Some days later, after the huge invasion of monsters, the town of Aspire slowly goes back to normal. Meanwhile, Teki also visits Anna's grave, paying his respects to her memory and reflecting on the countless sacrifices made in that battle. Afterwards, while sitting with Rin and others, Teichi summons Ariel once more and introduces her to them. Soon, a woman named Alcina, Norman arrives on the behalf of King Gilmore, telling that the king has summoned all of them in the royal capital Wenifix on their way to the capital. Alicent explains that for almost past 30 years, the Alisane Magic Kingdom has been governed by a balance between factions supporting the current king or his younger brother, Duke Dordasheen, while Glimmer has obtained power through diplomacy and proactively reaching out to other nations, His younger brother, Duke Dordesheim, has continued to oppose him at every turn. When Gilmer had planned to dispatch their magicians as part of this foreign policy, Duke Dortheim believes that this act will weaken the nation and eventually risen up in revolt on the other. After reaching its capital, everyone becomes shocked to see that this wonderful city has become a ghost town due to the upcoming war. Later, when they meet the king, Lemia agrees to help him but also confirms that Gilmore was the one who summoned Taichi and Rai in this world. Hearing this, Taichi gets mad, but King Gilmore takes full responsibility. Later, while Teki and Rin are resting in their room, Alcena arrives with Princess Charlotte, who suddenly apologizes, claiming that she was the one who summoned both of them in this world. She also explains while she was conducting the spell, Dordesheim's assassin manages to slip in their time. While they talk, Lemia suddenly arrives and instructs him to come with her. Outside, Teichi is forced to fight General Sumela as he and others are strangers, and they must earn people's trust. As the battle begins, Sumela rushes to him aggressively while Teichi only blocks her, attacks thinking that he might kill her with his powers. However, the battle soon ends when Teichi uses his physical abilities and defeats Sumela with only one strike. Realizing his powers, Sumela proposes Teichi to be his man, but he utterly refuses. Duke Dordesheim's army decides to attack Wenifix. However, Taichi and Rin's support for King Gilmore greatly bothers Duke's commanding officers, Milden and Marquise. In order to eliminate Taichi and Rin before the war and raise their chances of victory, an assassin on Marquise's order is sent to kill him. But before the assassin kills Taichi and Rin, Lamia and her gang, who already suspected the occurrence of such activities, manage to catch him in the act. Enraged, Taichi attacks the intruder and delivers several punches, but the assassin manages to run away and commit suicide. The following morning, Dordesheim's army and Milvin's lead approaches the royal capital and faces Ariel's wind blow attack, which stops them for a while, but the onslaught does not stop them. Instead, they make the unexpected fireball and the water bullet strike using the magic stones that Dordesheim's advisor enemy gave to Niljan. However, knowing that the result of using the magic stone is the user's death, Lemia devises a strategy to put an end to the rebels without murdering them. In order to accomplish this, with the aid of court magicians, Rin conjures a spell that paralyzes the opposing soldiers and spares their lives without killing them. Inamix also betrays Niljan and kills him on the battlefield without revealing his true identity to Dordesheim. King Gilmer stands victorious against the rebels at this point in the war, but Taichi and Rin's problems are not finished because Kasim and Grammy infiltrated the capitals to settle scores with him. On a coming day, Taichi encounters Kasim in the town, who then challenges Taichi to a duel. By accepting the combat, Taichi comes face to face with him. But before the battle begins, Kasim uses a bizarre-looking statue, the magical effigy given to him by Ladra, to block Taichi's strength. Without bothering about the effigy, Taichi indulges in the fight and by giving Kasim a tough time, defeats him without his immense powers. By accepting his defeat, when Kasim is about to stop effigy's effect, a dark spirit comes out of the statue and moves forward to kill Teki. But luckily, Grammy arrives at the moment and saves Taichi from the spirit's attack. Even after destroying the effigy statue, when the spirit does not stop, Taichi restores his powers and banishes the dark spirit. Techi's strength really admires Kasim and Grammy, who now have developed a respect for him. However, it reveals that Kasim and Techi's battle was Ladra and Shade's plan. On the other hand, the time has finally come when Dordesheim and his army is ready to attack a listed magic kingdom, while King Glamour and his knights are also ready to protect their motherland as they're fierce. Battle begins, everyone attacks each other where Rin, Mura, and Lemia use their strong magic abilities to destroy the enemy. While Taichi and Ariel invade Dordesheim territory, he defeats all soldiers around there and enters Dordesheim's camp, shocking everyone with his sudden arrival. Taichi claims he is here to talk and end their fight, making Dordesheim to send his soldiers outside. Realizing the situation is getting out of his hand, Inmates releases his dark magic and evil spirits to take control over dead soldiers. In the meantime, Rin fights with a strong rank adventurer named Suzura, who is specially asked to kill her. While NYRA encounters Marquise and Limia has to fight a strong mage Mist Foros, they all fight neck to neck with their opponents, but soon Lemia and Myra manage to kill Miss Foros and Marquise. On the other hand, while taking to Dortsheim, who utterly refuses to back down, Ariel notices Imix's dark powers and reveals his true identity. The soldiers' dead bodies become Inimix puppets who begin to attack everyone around there. Watching this, Dortsheim gets shocked, but Inimix reveals his true identity, claiming that he has been working for his only master Shade, and he had caused this rebellion under her commands. Lemia and Mira fights with the Berserk warriors, while Ran and Susora also form an alliance to kill them. Realizing that Shade has caused this war in order to drive him into a corner, Teichi tries to kill himself, but Ariel uses her powers to stop him, claiming the form she's in is not her real form and she's been hiding her incredible powers because she's afraid that they could prove disastrous. She says goodbye to Teichi, allowing him to destroy the dark magic with her powers. Ariel returns in her true form, which is the Queen of Spirits and one of 4 grand spirits called Sylphid. In the meantime, Animix uses their remaining dark power, transforms into a huge monster, forcing Teichi to fight with him using his full force. However, after a fierce fight between them, Teichi manages to destroy Animix, but then gets unconscious for some time again. Upon awaking, Teichi gets to know that everything is finally returned to normal and Duke Dortsheim was killed by King Gleimer's orders. The N9 ends with the group returning to Aspire, while Teichi is wondering who is Shade and what is her ultimate goal. What will happen to Teichi and Rin? Will they be able to return? Let's find out in the next video. If you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. If you have already watched the anime, please let us know what you thought. Till next time, take care.